Well, for today's video, we're actually on the top of Lanzarote, where you can see the windmills at Los Valles there behind me, and I'll scan slowly. You can see the radar station, and the plan today is to walk down and show you the dam. And I just wanted to shoot a short sequence here. It's very windy up here on the top at the moment, so I won't do too much, but I just wanted to show you where you can park your car if you fancy doing this walk as well. And this is the main road from Los Valles to Mirador de Aria, and if you look for this sign, you'll see a nice big open area where you can park your car. And there we go, and we're now going to walk down this path, and we're going to finish up in Mala, which is where we've left the other car. Still on the main path, still windy, but I just had to film this because it's such an epic view, isn't it, Jules?
We've got a load of buggies coming up.
Oh yeah, wow, okay.
It is an epic view, and that's the Valle Los Palomas, I think. I'll look up the name when we get down there.
Pigeon Valley.
Pigeon Valley.
Ah, I like it. Okay, so we're only a little way into it, actually 0.7 of a K, but already just the views on both sides have been absolutely stunning. We met a group of, what was it, 6 or 8 buggies coming up here?
Yeah, I think
but
so.
Actually they were being very sensible, driving at a reasonable speed and not creating a load of dust.
It's really built into the back of that rock, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? That house that we saw from the top. We're a couple of K into the walk now, and because we've dropped down into the valley, that wind has blessedly dropped. But of course I'm getting hot now. People we've seen the most of as we're out and about, it's a Sunday morning, are hunters with their dogs. And I just thought I'd talk briefly about it, because I know some people get a bit sniffy about hunting and shouldn't be done and that kind of thing. You've got to remember that rabbits are not an endemic species. They were introduced here in the 15th century by the earliest Spanish colonists, and they were introduced specifically as a food source because there wasn't any real wildlife on the island. And of course, inevitably, they breed like rabbits. And they sustained the islanders for several centuries until other industries managed to take over. But obviously the rabbits do breed very, very fast, and they continue to. So hunting is still allowed. It is very controlled. There's a specific hunting season, and the hunters go out with dogs and ferrets, and they catch rabbits, and they either eat them themselves, which many, many do, or they sell them to the restaurants who do conejo campesino, which is a dish we enjoy.
And interestingly, they were known as the Los Conejeros,
yeah.
The rabbiters.
Yeah, so the name for the islanders is the conejeros, as Julie says. So I think much better that they're caught and eaten and used as a food substance than, just killed in indiscriminate ways, which have been done in other countries who've got an overpopulation of rabbits. You can see the barranco runs right through the middle of the valley, as you'd expect, and there's this lovely finca here with 3 terraces. Not growing anything at the moment because it's midsummer, but he's got an aljibe which channels some of the water that runs down this barranco, and you can see that there are palms that have grown naturally in it, and there's a little ruined, I don't know, presumably that was the farmhouse once upon a time, Jules.
Yeah, it's big enough, isn't it?
Mm. Lovely, the cliff face on the side here. And one other thing I was going to pick up on while we talked earlier about rabbits and wildlife and food is this. When you get up into the valleys, you see snails everywhere, or dead snails, snail shells everywhere. And they're all around here, and it was a food source. One of our builders, Jerome, was Used to collect them and cook them up in garlic, didn't they?
I think they were bigger shelled snails though, weren't they? Than that, more like the brown shell
Ah,
in the
okay.
garden than the white ones.
Here's another little pile of them. We're at the 3K mark now, and this is, I have to say, this is really easy walking for anyone contemplating following in our footsteps, both literally and figuratively. It's a nice, wide, smooth path. It's been downhill all the way, obviously. Julie checked our height not long ago, and we reached 400 metres. We're probably down to 300, 350 now, and we started at over 600 metres above sea level. Coming up to about 4 kilometres now, and we've got our first kind of proper glimpse of the ocean. And right on the edge there, I can see Charco del Palo, I think. Yeah, and Los Cocoteros to the right on the edge there. As we drop down into yet another valley. Julie's just headed off to find a cave, which, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this on the screen, but to the left of that terraced field, there's a red bit and then a black bit of pecan, and there's a big cave in the middle of that. It's known locally as the Cathedral, and she's going to have a go at going up there and seeing if she can shoot some video for us to enjoy. I don't really like coming down slippery slopes anymore, so I'm stopping down here having a drink of water.
And just off the path is the cathedral. You'd have to climb a little bit to reach it, but if you want to see this cave with the columns, then this is what it looks like. There's 3 columns inside. This one, I haven't been up those steps to see where that goes. Not while I'm on my own. You can see the blue skies up there. This is the middle column, and then just next to it is another one. And just around the corner, and I'm not sure if this is why it's the cathedral or somebody's carved this in more recently. But you can see a cross carved into the side there. This is the view when you exit.
You can see that the soil around here has a lot of red in it. That's caused by iron ore. And the people of this municipality historically were famous for having red teeth because all the water they drank came through these barrancos and into the aljibes in the villages. And of course they didn't have any means of purifying the water, so they drank it as it came down with all this ore-rich earth in it. Now from here you can see the dam, you can see the back of it, and the building on the top to the right of it we'll have a look at in a minute. So this is the first view of it. And the story of this dam is quite interesting. I mean, as you've seen from the barrancos and the farms as we've walked down, by the way, we're just coming up to 5 kilometres. This was where water from 2 or 3 valleys flowed down to the sea on the odd occasions it rained on the island. And the first plan for this dam was made in the 1940s. And someone said, well, look, if we can put a big dam in there, it will store all of the water for the island through the summer, rather than using all these little aljibes. And I think the Franco approved the construction of it in the mid-50s, and it was constructed, as you'll see in a minute, and the plan was amplified a couple of times, and it was supposed to hold loads and loads of water. It never did, and there are 2 schools of thought on this. One, apparently it was never that watertight, but the other, which I think is more likely to be accurate, because we've seen reasonable amount of water in there in the odd years when we had heavy rain like 2005. I think the more plausible explanation was that this was completed in, I think it was 1960 or 61, and by 1962 the desalination plant was off and running, and the dam was never really needed. And we've seen a, what, half full, do you think, Jules?
Yeah, when it's got water and it attracts a lot of bird life to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, ducks and all kinds
And
of
down
things.
the bottom, there's the catchment pool that has frogs in it.
Yes. And that catchment pool is still used by the water tankers. They go and fill up with their hoses on suck and fill themselves up there. Anyway, I'll stop gassing on now and we'll just finish the walk to the dam and then show you around it. Now at 5.8 kilometres and we've arrived at the dam. The first thing you'll see is these buildings. We don't actually know what they are, but I've kind of always assumed they were built as offices for the water company and or a home for the dam keeper, if there is such a thing.
I've just checked our height, 180 metres.
Okay, so we've come down from about 630 metres to 180, and just over this ridge here we will see the dam in a moment. Apologies for the howling wind, but there is the dam, complete with graffiti, love, smile and live. And I'm just going to show you the view here and then we'll walk down a bit further, but from the edge here we've got a fantastic view down into the canyon there, and looking across to where we're heading next, the village of Mala. Now these railings are brand new in August 24. It all
154,000 euros budget.
I'd have done it for half of that. You used to be able to, well, until this month actually, because we are in August 24, you used to be able to walk along the top of the dam and you could actually go inside it and access it. You can't anymore. So that's as good a view as you can get of it.
And they used to abseil off it as well, didn't they?
Yeah, there was abseiling and it used to be on a Sunday a great place to come up for picnics. You were just commenting about the colours on there, Jules.
I know, it's just really pretty pinks, isn't it? Sandy pinks.
Yeah, and I said it looks like an artist's palette with 18 shades of pink in it. We're at the 7 kilometre mark now, and as I said right at the top, the beauty of this walk is that it's downhill, but it's also a really easy to walk track, as you can see. So although it's going to end up being, I don't know, by the time we get back to the car it might even be 9, but it is a relatively comfortable walk that anyone who has any reasonable level of fitness could do. And ahead of us now is the village of Mala, which is where we've parked the other car, so we'll do a sign off when we get there and show you the choice of restaurants that will greet you on your arrival. We've made it back to Mala now. This is the first of the 3 restaurants you might choose for something to eat. It's called La Cantina de Mala. Now, the second of the restaurants is called Don Quixote.
Yeah.
And it's a few years since we've been there actually, so I'm not kind of up to speed with what they do. But just beyond it is Giorgiotto y Mio, which is an Arapara bar, isn't it?
Yeah, we like that one, don't we?
I think that's certainly our favourite of the 3 in Mala. And they do everything from tapas to steaks to arepas and
Beef stroganoff, all kinds of stuff.
yeah, one of 7 Colombian brothers who all run restaurants on the island. So there you go, we're back in Mala now, just about 9 kilometres, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.